Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Tanzil Mirza. Today I'm going to show you how to create a toggle button. Alright, we already have seen how to make a toggle button, but this time uh, we'll be using a simple toggle button. The default button of our HTML script. We don't need to install the reactstrap like we did in the previous lecture. So let me first open the code. Alright, so as usual, I'm going to remove everything from here except this division tag. Let's remove this thing from here. I'm removing this logo.svg, this import from here, and also I'm deleting this file. Alright, so move this to the trash. Now save this file. Everything looks good here. Okay, so I'm going to follow the same logic we followed in the previous video regarding this toggle button. So as usual, we'll have a state over here, and inside this state we'll have a display, a boolean variable, which the initial value will be false. Okay, uh, let me first uh, let me first explain you the logic uh, of this code. So we'll be having a display variable here, a boolean variable whose initial value is false. This will decide whether we will display the text or not. All right, so if this is false, obviously if it is false, obviously we will display nothing, and when the value is true, we'll create another function which will update its value, and it will be true then. So we'll use a function which will change the value of display from false to true and true to false. This will toggle, that function will actually toggle the value uh, of this boolean variable, and depending upon the value of this particular display variable, will decide whether to render the content or the tag or the heading tag or not, because we are going to use a heading tag. Well, I'll show you, don't worry. If you're not getting anything, don't worry, I'll show you the code. So in the state we have display, which is set to false, and then we'll create a custom function toggle handler, and of course this is a custom name. You are free to use any other name of your choice. A simple arrow function here. I'm first copying the current status of this dot state dot display. Alright, so it's quite simple over here. This value, this false, display false, is copied into this current variable. Now constant current, this dot set state, this dot set state display. I'm changing the value of display to reverse of this current. So what's going on here? Remove this semicolon, we don't need this. It will be an error. Save the code. So first of all, the initial value is false. When I click the button, it will call this function, and this function first of all copies this display, this false. It will be false here. Let me show you. It will be false here, and once this function is called the set state, it will be display the reverse of the not current, the reverse of current, the current is right now false, so it will be true. Okay, so this is the logic behind this. Let's remove everything. Okay, now here we'll check. We'll create a variable and set this value to null. Now after this we'll check if this dot state dot display, if this is true, a general if statement, if this is true, then content will be, sorry, the content will be, let's take a simple h1 tag, hello hello world, and here we'll create a button, a simple button, let's say toggle, and inside we'll call on click, click click, and here this dot toggle handler. And note that I'm not adding parenthesis after this name. This is because if I try if I add this parenthesis here, this will immediately call the function when the program loads. Okay, so obviously we don't want to implement such a logic. We don't want the function to load immediately as soon as the program gets loaded into the memory. So leave it like this only, and here I'm rendering this content. So the value of content will either be null or this hello world. It depends upon the this display current, the value of this current, this false. All right, now let's save the code. Okay, I've already saved the code. Now see here, see it's working. Okay, just note down here, you should not use capital B here. See, it will show you an error, button is not defined. Why it is saying so? The React is complaining that you have not defined button. Why it is saying so? Because if this B is capital, this capital B button is actually a keyword which is it's a reserve word which can be found under the package reactstrap. All right, so just make sure you're using a lowercase button over here. Okay, so this is how you implement a toggle button. So thank you so much for watching this video. I'll be back with some new contents. Thank you so much.